You're speeding down the highway when a cop pulls you over and you say, "Sorry, officer, your laws don't apply to me. I'm part of the sovereign movement." Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Yet thousands of people believe it all over America. They think they can dodge taxes, skip licenses, even ignore court orders, all because the government's fake. Today, we're taking a deep look at the sovereign movement, where it came from, what it's really about, and why it's dangerous nonsense. The federal government calls some of these folks anti-government extremists, and for good reason. Too many buy into this, and it's time we understand why it needs to stop. So, this whole thing kicked off in the 1970s with a group called the Posse Comitatus. They were a bunch of people fed up with the government. They hated taxes, they hated rules, and hated anything beyond their local sheriff. Back then, it was tied to some ugly ideas like white supremacy from the Christian identity movement. They said the feds had no power over them, only county law mattered. It started small, but rapidly grew into something big. Have you ever felt like the system's out to get you? That's what they latched onto, and in time it grew, pulling in all kinds of people. Not just extremists, but regular folks looking for a way out. By the 1980s, it was making headlines, and not in a good way. So what do they believe? Well, here's the core of it. They say the US isn't a real country anymore, it's a corporation. But when did this happen? Some folks in the movement point to the Civil War, when laws got all messy. Others say it was 1878 when Washington, D.C. turned into a municipal corporation. And some pick 1933 when the dollar stopped being backed by gold. No matter the date, they think the government became a big business and we're all stuck in it. They even believe there's a secret bank account for every person worth millions tied to this thing they call the straw man. That's where they say there's a real you who's free and a fake you written in all caps on papers that's owned by the feds. Fill out some forms, say the magic words, and you're out, or so they think. It's a wild idea, but it's complete nonsense. Now let's get into how they try to make this happen. These people have all kinds of tricks up their sleeves. They ditch driver's licenses and claim, "I'm not driving, I'm traveling." They refuse to pay taxes because they say the IRS isn't legit. And they love messing with the courts, filing fake liens against people they don't like, or writing checks that bounce every time. The federal government calls this paper terrorism, and it's a real headache for everyone. Some even make up crazy rules like saying only nouns matter in court, or they scribble "accepted for value" on bills, thinking it taps into that secret account. They pull bits from old stuff, the Magna Carta, random treaties, and twist it all around. But here's the kicker. It never works. Courts toss it out fast, and it's all just a big waste of time. You might be thinking this sounds like a goofy prank, right?
I know you're busy enjoying this video, but I need to take a moment to talk to you about something very serious. Only 7.4% of you, that's 23,400, have your notifications turned on and enabled for YouTube notifications. How am I supposed to deliver amazing, educational, and entertaining content such as this video when you have deliveries completely turned off? Now let's talk about the 59.3% of you who watch but don't subscribe. Should I take my shirt off or something to convince you to hit the subscribe button once? Because I probably won't do that. Alright, before we get back to the video, I want you to go check out my website. We sell cool stuff there for people just like you.
Sometimes it is, like when you see videos of these folks arguing with cops over a ticket. But it gets dark quick. The federal government's been tracking this for years. And by 2013, they said sovereign movement extremists were the top homegrown threat in America. That's bigger than militias or hate groups. And there's a reason for it. Back in 1983, a guy named Gordon Kahl, who was into posse ideas, killed 2 U.S. marshals over taxes. Then in 1996, the Montana Freemen had an 81-day standoff with the FBI, all because they were scamming banks and threatening people. This isn't just random stuff. It's a pattern, and it's why the feds are so serious about it. And then there's the really bad stuff. In 1995, Timothy McVeigh bombed a building in Oklahoma City, killed 168 people, including kids, and he was deep into sovereign movement beliefs. His partner, Terry Nichols, was too. The government calls this terrorism, and it's not a one-time thing. In 2010, a father and son shot 2 cops dead during a traffic stop, both tied to the movement. In 2016, 4 officers got killed in Baton Rouge by a follower. And in 2021, Darrell Brooks drove through a Christmas parade in Waukesha, killed 6, and tried sovereign arguments in court. This isn't just funny videos, it's dangerous, and that's why the feds label them anti-government extremists. But wait, it's not all about fighting. Some people in this movement are all about the money scams. Take Roger Elvick. He sold guides promising you could get rich off the government with the right paperwork. Lots of people bought it, lost everything, and he cashed in. Or there's Winston Shrout, who sent fake money papers worth $1 quadrillion. That's a 1 with 15 zeros. These guys trick people who are desperate, like folks losing their homes or stuck in debt. They sell this dream of beating the system, but it's a lie, and the treasuries had to tell everyone there's no secret account waiting. It's a con, plain and simple. So, why do people keep falling for this? Well, some are mad, the government takes too much, controls too much, and they're fed up. Others are broke and scared, hoping for a quick fix. And some really believe they found the truth, digging into old laws, talking about admiralty law or flag fringes like it's a big secret. They're right that the system's got flaws, but this isn't the answer. The feds say you can't just quit the law. You're here, you follow it. Courts agree, and every case flops hard. But it's still growing, and that's because of the internet. Videos and websites make it spread like crazy. Here's the bottom line. This sovereign movement started in the 70s with Posse Comitatus, born from hating the government. They think the U.S. is a corporation and they've got tricks to escape. Papers, weird words, scams. But it's garbage. The federal government calls them anti-government extremists because it's not just talk. It's fraud, fights, and death. Too many buy this nonsense, chasing a dream that wrecks them. So, next time you see someone pushing this, think about what it costs. Who's getting hurt? Drop your wildest sovereign movement story in the comments. We've got to kill this myth before more fall for it. Thanks for sticking with me. Let's keep digging into what's real.